All right, this is David again, and talking about giving you an overview of vintage trailers because we get a lot of questions about that. And so this time I want to talk to you about propane. So in this case, this trailer has two propane tanks. We usually just get them from Home Depot or Walmart, the refillable kind. But one thing I always check for is usually these come with really old propane tanks, and they have a date stamped on the side. It's right over here. That one says 1 of 19. So I think it's 12 or 14 years that you can use these tanks, otherwise they won't fill them. A lot of times what I do is buy a newer regulator on Amazon. They're about $35 because the old regulators have a different attachment here that's not as reliable. This is a dual regulator that switches automatically when one tank goes full or goes empty. And so I really like to get one of these regulators. Okay.
Don't turn it on.
Yeah, let's turn it on. Thanks. That's Marilyn, by the way, behind the camera. She's the one who does all this. I just do the stuff behind the scenes. All right, so let's go in and I'll show you how what the propane actually does. So in this trailer, the propane runs a couple of things: this light, the stove, and the oven. In many trailers, it will also run the fridge, the water heater. This one does not have a hot water heater, and the heater down here. So let me just show you a couple things. One thing, when you first install propane tanks and start them up, there's air in the lines, and this has caused me grief and headaches over the years. So you'll see here, I've lit it, but it took a second for it actually to light. So that is because there was air in the lines, and sometimes it takes a while. It's even worse on the heaters to get them going. So what I like to do to get propane in the system is run these burners first, just to pull the propane into the trailer. Okay, so I'm going to turn these off. These are the push and turn type, and you have to push and hold them in to be able to light them. The oven is pretty standard. You turn it on, the propane comes on, and then you just light it down under there. Okay. Many trailers have a pilot light on the oven, so you don't have to light it every time. This one doesn't. So I'm just going to turn that off. It will say pilot up here if it does have a pilot light. All right, this happens to be a catalytic heater. So but the propane runs this heater. You can see it's got a pilot light. Most of the heaters in these old trailers have a pilot light also, and you have to push and hold the pilot propane switch or knob to get the propane going and the pilot light going, and you usually hold it for 20 or 30 seconds before you turn it on. Okay, I'm just going to leave it off there. So that's propane. Oh, then you have some of these trailers have these propane lights that use the Coleman mantle, is what it's called. Let me show you these Coleman mantles. I'm just gonna admit, these lights scare me because they put a lot of flame off, and they're just like a little bit scary, but I can light it. You see, it lights just fine. And so it offers a light source if your battery power or electrical's not working. But also on this one, you can see when it's all the way up, it's running flame up that side, which really makes me uncomfortable. So I like to turn them down until I don't see that flame anymore. But I'm sure they're okay, but they just seem a little bit dangerous to me. All right, so that's your propane. Next, we're going to talk about electric. Thanks, and have a great day.